Hey everyone, it's Shaylin and I'm here today with another video, and today I'm continuing our little series on point of view because I wanted to just address one thing, and that is having a favorite point of view or always using the same point of view, comfort in point of view. I see this so much, and the reason I'm making this video now is because the next two videos are going to be videos on using first, and then the next video is going to be on using third. And before you go into those videos, I want you to go in with a completely open mind, because I see so many cases of people who say, this is my favorite point of view, I can't use the other. Or this point of view is too hard, I'm not going to use it, I can only do this one, this is my natural point of view. And I wanted to address today why you are shooting yourself in the foot, being stuck in your preferred point of view. I get a lot of messages from people who say, I always write in third person, and I can't write in first, I just can't do it, it's too hard for me, or vice versa. And there are a lot of people out there who have a preferred point of view and only feel comfortable with one point of view and feel like they can only write in one point of view. And this can really harm your writing, because some stories really need first and some really need third, and some need second, but we're not going to really talk about second today. I made a whole video on second that if you want to know when it's something you can use, you can check that out. Some stories really call for a certain point of view, and some would be really benefited by a certain point of view. Point of view is like your mode of telling the story. It's very important, and I think it's too easily dismissed as a choice that can be made based on the author's comfort level. I would never say to an author to not use a point of view because they don't feel that they can write it, because they probably can. Yes, there are differences, but I pretty much guarantee you that if you can write in third, you can write in first. And if you can write in first, you can write in third. I will also say that there is no harder point of view. I see a lot of people who get really elitist about their point of view. Generally, people who prefer third seem to be very elitist about like third being harder. I've seen so many people say third is so much harder, and actually third is the better point of view. It's not. They're both difficult for different reasons and will be difficult for different people. My natural inclination is toward first, and I think it's normal to have a natural inclination. Most people have one. Just the point of view that you would prefer to write. You probably write most of your work in that. For me, it's definitely first. The reason why I am not a crappy point of view person is because I will still write in third if the story calls for it. And I know when the story calls for it. I know when to use third, and I know when it's going to benefit the story. And even more importantly than that, I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared of point of view. And I know that even though I might struggle with it a little at first, it's not going to be that difficult once I get into it. I'm going to figure out what I'm doing. And yes, my first novel that I wrote in third person is very poorly done third person, but I've learned how to do third since then. The reason I'm making this video is to say that if you are comfortable in a point of view, and it's to the point that you won't use another, if you want to be a better writer, you have to get out of that. It's not going to benefit you in any way to be using your favorite point of view all the time, just because it's your favorite, or be using the only point of view you think you can use because you think it's the only one you can do. I see so many people who have these reasons why they can't use another point of view, why it's too hard for them, and I promise you that if you actually tried to write it, you'd find it not too bad, and you'd find it pretty doable. First and third have different advantages, and they're not the same, and I don't want to say that they're the same. And they have different challenges, but they both have challenges. So, my conclusions for this video. Number one, stop saying that there's a harder point of view, because there's not. They're hard for different reasons. They both present their own challenges, and it's really annoying when I hear people say that first is easier, because it's not. Neither is easier. There's only what's easier for that specific writer, and different writers will have a different inclination. Neither is in its essence more difficult. So stop putting down other people or making yourself seem better because you're using the harder point of view, because there is no harder point of view. Number two, stop reverting to your favorite point of view without considering the other point of view. Point of view should be something you are very careful when you consider. It changes the mode of a story so much, and it can affect a story so much, and you should be using the best point of view for the story. You will not always be using the best point of view for the story if you are always only using your favorite point of view. You have to be open-minded with trying different point of views. Number three, you can write both point of views, or all three point of views, but we're really talking about first and third here. You can write them both. I know you might think you can't. You might think that there's some weird reason why you cannot possibly write in first. It just doesn't work for you. third just doesn't work for you, I can pretty much guarantee that this is just a mental block you've created and that you can actually. You know, if you want to start by just writing like a short story of like 1,000 words and that other point of view to try it out, do that. And I'm not going to say that it's going to be easy to write out of your comfort point of view at first, but I will say that first was my comfort point of view, and I challenged myself to write in third. Now I would say I feel equally comfortable with both. I still prefer first most of the time, but I think it's more just because most of what I write is benefited by a first person point of view. But I would honestly say I feel equally comfortable with both now. And it's because I wrote my uncomfortable point of view that I no longer really have a comfortable point of view. I still have a slight preference, but it's mild enough that like I look beyond it when choosing the point of view my story needs. And I think that most writers can get there. You just have to be willing to practice the point of view that you're not immediately comfortable with. I even fell into the trap of feeling like third person was like more intelligent or more literary. And in my first year writing class, I wrote my short story piece in third person because I felt that that was like the more literary thing to do, because I felt that third must be harder because I heard so many people saying third person is harder. So I wrote it in third, and that story honestly needed first. Like that story would have been benefited so much by a first person point of view. And I used third because I fell victim to all these people saying third is harder when it's not. It's just different. Fourth conclusion, be smart with point of view and be adventurous with point of view. And learn about point of view and don't see it as arbitrary. It's not arbitrary, it's very important. If you have just defaulted, look beyond your default and think about why you're using the point of view you're using and if it's benefiting the story. Changing a point of view post first draft can be kind of a pain, so maybe it'd be best to consider that now before you throw yourself under the bus and write your story in the wrong point of view and then have to change it, because that would suck. And this video was literally just more of a PSA than anything, but I just needed to throw this out there because it's been driving me insane. There is no harder point of view. There's only the better point of view for each specific story. This topic just inspires many rants within me because I've seen so much bullshit thrown out around harder point of views and more literary point of views and all of this stuff. So I need to get this out there. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can always send me an ask on Tumblr, and I will see you in another video. Bye.
Into the dark, I found by the lake. We were so close.